Hey guys, Lucas from iExplore here, and tonight we're going to explore Ueno, which is easily one of my favorite areas in Tokyo, especially for night photography. So we're going to do a little bit of city, urban, nightlife, and some street photography. And tonight I have the Viltrox 24mm f1.8 for the full frame Z cameras. And this was given to me by Viltrox, so this is a bit of a sponsored video. So thanks to them. So we're going to talk all about this lens tonight. I've been shooting with it for a couple of weeks now, actually. So I feel like I'm going to have more of a review of the lens this time than when we did the 85 a couple of weeks back, where it was like totally fresh. So we'll talk about that as we shoot. Just before we get to shooting, I want to remind you to please check out our Patreon. There are some perks. If you support us, you can watch these videos a little bit early and without the ads. And also we have a map of Tokyo photo spots and some other things on there that you would get. Also, if you're interested in any of the gear, like such as this lens, hit those referral links down below. Even if you don't buy anything, just clicking on them actually helps us out, especially the Amazon link. So please just take a look and, you know, maybe like the lens after this video and you buy it. All right, so we'll get to shooting. Let's explore Ueno.
I explore.
So yeah, after that 85 video a couple of months ago, they sent me this 24, and so far so good. I've been shooting with it for a couple of weeks this time. I quite like it. It has actually a really nifty feature, which it doesn't really apply for what I do, but it has a aperture ring, an actual physical aperture ring, which you rarely see on cameras these days, and it's stopless. So you can see the aperture, if you look in there, actually changing completely smoothly, which is pretty cool. But I just keep it on the A, so I keep it on auto, and I use the dial in the camera like I normally do with all my other lenses. So, but it is cool that it's there, and of course it has you know, a focus ring that's totally stopless, no infinity stop, nothing. It's an electronic focus ring. I mentioned that in the 85 video that I'm not the biggest fan of these things, but it's fine and it works. But generally I use autofocus with this lens pretty much all the time. It focuses actually extremely well on the Z camera. So tonight we're gonna shoot around Ueno. We're gonna do some, like I said, a mix of cityscape and street, and I'll talk more probably about what I like or maybe don't like about the lens, but basically I can tell you right now that it's a great lens. I like this one a lot more than the 85 because to me a 24 is just a lot more practical on like a daily walking around sort of lens, more versatile. All right, so the first thing I want to shoot, I want to get this crossing, whoa, from above, because like I said, I use it for street photography, but it's also great for cityscapes, for views like this of the whole city. Let's see if we can maybe get kind of a long-ish exposure here. I'm gonna go maybe like a half a second. Okay, and we got F8 maybe. Yeah, nice. I like this taxi that's parked here. All right, and so we're just waiting for a little bit of traffic. But yeah, actually the street here looks awesome with all the markings. Very nice. Now let's see if I can get it up to a second and hold it stable enough to get a sharp image. Yeah, nice, not bad. It's not like incredible, but it's pretty good. In fact, let's try a simpler shot because I'm getting like this taxi over here, but maybe just the road here, just these markings. Yeah, all the different symbols on the road, the kanji, looks really good. And the nice thing is that from this position, I can put my camera in a way that like it's totally, you know, rock solid. I don't have to hold it at all. Just adjust my composition a little more. Actually, I could maybe include the taxi there too, yeah. Ooh, I like this composition. And then we'll wait for one more set of cars in a second. I'm gonna speed up or slow down my shutter to 2 seconds. Yeah, I kind of like without the taxi, honestly, just the road. So yeah, this isn't the best place for light trail photos like that with traffic. It's also not the best time of day. There's not a lot of cars out right now. But like I was saying, I like using wide angle lenses like this for cityscapes. And now I'll go down into the streets and do hopefully some street photography. All right. Yeah, now the lens goes all the way to 1.8. I tend to use it around 2.8. We could start on 2. Why not? And a 2/50th of a second. And already, actually, yeah, here we go. Here's a cool scene. Actually, here I'm gonna go a little slower. I'm gonna go to a 1/25th and 2.8 and shoot the people in this bar here. Nice. Let's see if I get a little, if we go a little bit this way, get a little more, like maybe of the street and the bar combined. Again, because I have the 24. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. So I can see down the street, and I can see this bar here on the left, and that's pretty neat. Not a lot going on the street itself, but it's a pretty cool shot. Let's see what else we can do. Maybe a vertical shot. Well, that's also pretty sweet with the people at the bottom. Cool. Very nice. Gonna turn on the level for some of these. All right, let's go a little bit more this way. And also, I want to get one of maybe like just the bar itself. Like this. Yeah, nice. All right, I still feel like, see, this is something I've talked about in these videos all the time, and I'm also kind of trying to like think about it while explaining it, but I'm trying to work the scene, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out an angle that works, okay? And usually it means taking a lot of bad angles or angles that don't quite work. I wonder if I go back even a little more, because earlier I didn't quite get the street and the bar in the same shot, or into the same frame. Let's see if I can improve that now. Yeah, so I like wide lenses, but this one is, 24 is plenty wide. I feel like it's just, I wish it was just a little bit wider for this particular scene. Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like I've exhausted what I can do. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna shoot down the street like this and just pick up a little bit of the bar here. A little bit different way to do it. Okay. I think I'm good. I mean, none of these is perfect, but there's some decent ones. We're gonna go down the stairs over here. All right. So, and then we'll get back on the streets. All right, so I like the view here as well, like the way, now we're under the walkways, and it kind of feels like we're like semi-underground, even though we're not. I like how there's the stairs, and it's all very retro because Ueno is like a pretty old area, and all this stuff was super modern like 50 years ago, and now it's all, kind of out of date. Let's get a little closer, just a little bit. I want to do something with this stairs. I love the orange light as well, these sodium vapor lamps. I used to hate this when I started shooting because it's very hard to deal with this color. It creates an intense color cast, and I thought like, oh, that's no good. I gotta fix that, etc., etc. But now I love it. I think it's interesting visually. Let's see if I can maybe shoot like this. Oh, here we go. Here's another example of that lens flare I was saying. If I put the lens just right, there's this nice kind of flare that comes from the corner, and then if I change the angle just a little bit, it actually goes away. So I think, technically that's kind of a flaw, but I like it. I think it adds a bit of character to the lens, and you can utilize it creatively if you want. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, not down the stairs, but at least we got these guys coming around the corner, which I think is interesting. All right, so now we're gonna go deeper into the main area over there. So we played around on these walkways in this area, but now I want to go into the main part of Ueno. And we've shot a video there before, a couple like months ago now, maybe almost a year ago. So this area is called Ameyoko, which is a kind of street market, and there's a lot of bars and restaurants. And of course, it's late at night now. It's like what, 8 or 9? It's like 8 p.m., 7, 8 p.m. So a lot of places are going to be closed, but there's still plenty of activity on the street, so it should be good for some good, city, night street scenes, and so on. Make sure my settings here, f2, 2/50th of a second, and I'm good to go. All right, so I usually keep my compensation on minus 0.7 or 1.0 around there, about one stop under, because I'm using the like center weighted, but then change it to average metering, so I'm averaging from the whole frame, which means that sometimes it's it's a little bit overexposed in very dark scenes like where we're shooting now. So I keep it a little bit minus. So we can go there, but there's another street here I want to check out. Crazy amount of activity tonight. You got trains, fire trucks, a lot of people out. Actually, you can see, I mean, not that many in this particular street, but there's a decent amount of people out. Oh, that's nice. Of course, what I love here are the dark, dingy things, so we'll shoot the people as well a bit, street photos and whatnot, but I can't help but stop for the dark dinge. And here I love this window. Make it really nice and close. And that to me is just gorgeous. And so you'll notice that with this lens, for scenes like this, oh, come on, yeah, shadow. That's what I was hoping for. It's not a very defined shadow of a man, though. I was hoping to more clearly see the chef in there. He's there, but you can't really tell it's a person, right? All right, well, that's fine. That's all good. I also want to shoot this before we go on, just in here a little bit. Again, going really slow on the shutter here. I'm going to go to a 5th. Love these kind of scenes with all the wires and stuff. And here I'm on f2 and a 5th of a second, and it's really still at a 500 ISO, so it's a pretty dark scene. Although I think it's a little overexposed. There we go. So yeah, for let's see how sharp that is. That looks good. I mean, 2 is, it's not that the lens is not sharp, but the depth of field is so shallow. I'm going to try it again on f4. I'm going to go to half a second here. Yeah, it's better DOF. It was a little bit shallow. So when shooting something like kind of flat on, like I was doing with that window a minute ago, then you kind of notice the lens does have a bit of barrel distortion. And it's a little bit kind of finicky. Like you can fix it in Photoshop, there's a profile, but it doesn't quite perfectly fix it. So yeah, it's okay. It's not a big deal for most shots. And even for the shots where I'm shooting flat onto a surface and I want to have it, everything straight, it's not a big deal if it's like a little bit bent or curved. But just pointing it out, it does have some slight distortion. Not too noticeable though. All right, so in here, I'm on f2 and a 2/50th. I'm going to kind of push it because I have the big aperture, so I can. There we go. Let me get this scene with this guy in there. Not the most interesting thing. He's just kind of washing the dishes. Nice, taking out the trash. Kind of cool. And yeah, there we go. So that's a good example of great autofocus in the camera and the lens as well, because it nailed the focus in a split second there. That's all I had to do, the only time I had to shoot. And as you can see here, tons of people out drinking. Today is it's a Monday, but it's a holiday. It's the last day of a 3-day weekend. People waving. This guy's cool. Nice. Hi, okay.
You're a YouTuber?
Yeah, so YouTuber. でも有名じゃない。Not so famous. そんなにじゃない。少しだけ。ありがとう。頑張ります。いやでも有名じゃない。でもいいですか？ Hi, okay. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, arigato, arigato. Thank you. All right, great. Love it. So everyone's having a great time, as you can tell. Got two different groups. The one guy, just to, in case you guys didn't keep up with what people were saying, one guy was like, "Oh, are you a YouTuber?" I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, are you famous?" I said, "No." He's like, "All right, good luck." Anyway, let's go this way. All right, the other way is a little more busy. I want to get back to that, but after that, I want to like simmer down a little bit. Well, those are crazy moments. I didn't even look at my photos really. The first group was really nice before they posed for me. Once they posed, it was a little bit contrived. But there's this great moment. Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, I got a real kick-ass shot there. I love this one shot, which is on the screen right now. I'm definitely showing it. I showed it earlier, but I'm sure I'll show it again. See, that's great. And this is where I love a wide-angle lens like this, because I was fairly close, and yet I was still able to get that scene comfortably. If I had a longer lens, it would be tough. I know I also love shooting with 40mm. I've mentioned that a million times. And they're both good, but a wide lens, like this is a 24. Usually I use a 28, but 24-28, that's like, splitting hairs here. It's basically the same thing. So I like a lens around 24-28, and I like a lens around 35-40, right? They both have their pros and cons, but in that moment, I'm glad I had this one. That was perfect. What I love about Ueno is just the weird retro vibe. Like these lights here, they're so strange. They're like this block thing with the colors, the red, blue, and green, and you kind of wonder why. Well, why is it so designed? It's very retro. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it. Let's shoot that. I'm gonna go down to a 50th and a 4. There we go. That's nice, simple, maybe even darker. -2 stops for the exposure, and I'm not getting like a great composition of it. It's kind of a weird way to frame it, but I'm down here. It'd be better to be higher up somewhere. Yeah, that's only kind of interesting, whatever. I just like the shape of these lights. It's not even that I was able to frame it very well, but this kind of stuff just attracts me. And I've talked about that in videos many times, that I just want to shoot stuff that attracts my eye, that I like. It doesn't matter if I can shoot it well or not. Sometimes I just shoot it just to shoot it, just for my own sake. Let's go this way. Yeah, I usually don't publish those kinds of photos, so like I won't put them on my social media or anywhere else, because like if it's like that shot there, probably won't make it anywhere because it wasn't that good, but it was just, I just wanted to shoot it. It's like an itch I needed to scratch. Wow, this area's changed. This is new. I've never seen this before. This coffee bar snacks. This wasn't here before. Crazy. Things change so much in this city all the time. Let's go this way. Interesting. But the other side's cool. The other side is this big izakaya over here. And we'll go to a nice slow shutter and f4. Oh, cool. I don't even think it's as retro as it looks. It's just like a retro styling. I realize I kind of underexposed it. Let's do another one. Slightly different composition. It's not that interesting though, so we'll keep going. Put it on 250, back to f2. Be ready for street moments. There's some stuff going on here. It's incredibly noisy out here. Every time I think, okay, it'll be a little bit quieter, there's something else. There's guys closing shutters. So if the audio is kind of not great in this video, there you go. Then, oh well. All right, let's walk through this lively area now. We'll kind of loop around here a couple of times. Go this way. So I found these days Ueno is remarkably busy in the evenings. There's always people out here having a good time. Let's take a peek in here as well. this pile of trash, but not the trash itself, but maybe something else going on here. Wow, look at this. This is literally, right? Konchu shoku, right? It literally means insect food. These are edible bugs. Wow, okay. Hardcore. We got small crickets, mixed bugs, mixed pupae. Oh yeah, now we're talking. We got zebra tarantula. So guys, I swear, I didn't know this was here. It just came in and it's like, here it is. So yeah, actually, I was about to say I'm gonna get one of these and try it, but I don't think I'm gonna like it. And then I looked at the prices. The cheapest one is $7, and it goes to like 15, 25 bucks, around 10 bucks a lot of them. So you know what? I'll tell you what. I don't know what the goal would be, but if we get if we get some Patreon supporters, how about this? If we get like a couple more, I don't know how many, but if I'm not that impressed, I'll do the chocolate coated silkworms because it's chocolate coated. But if you guys go all out, I will do the zebra tarantula, all right? Seriously, or even, I don't know if I can do the giant water bug, that sounds gross. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, here we go. That's kind of cool. Actually, I don't even know if we can go through there anymore because he's shutting stuff down. Shall we try? Or let's just go back out the way we came in. I think he's closing everything up. Cool, nice street moment. So the bug thing was worth it just to get that. That was kind of cool. That was a great pose. He like turned around to some guy in the background and was like, "We're closed, so get out." More or less. He said it more nicely. All right. Crazy boy?
Yeah, you can take picture fine. Okay. Good job.
Arigato.
Okay,
Yeah,
good
man.
job.
All right,
Take
man.
care.
Take care. Hey. Not everybody wants to pose for a photo, and not everybody's interesting to get a photo like that of, you know? It's kind of, yeah, like this guy was okay. Yeah, it was fun. All right. Before we continue out that way, let's go in here real quick. And maybe from up there, we can see a nice view of the whole area. All right, so yeah, let's go up there. There's like a terrace. All right, I'm just looking around at other stuff. Okay, and then from here, you can maybe get the street from above, kind of. That's not that interesting from above. Yeah, and this is where the 24 is now kind of tricky because everything's sort of far away because it's wide angle. But let's go here a little more. I love how intensely noisy this garbage truck is, plus the trains. I'm gonna go over this way a little bit more to see the whole truck a little better. It's kind of an interesting scene, very busy, a lot of good stuff going on. Maybe we'll wait for a train to go by. Those of you who've seen that video I did for Samuel Street's channel, you know, we explored this area, but we did a little bit different shot here. We went in the building and higher up, but we didn't come out here, I don't think. So I want to get this Ameyoko sign with a train going by. I might have to wait a bit for the train. Just looking at the exposure. Exposure is going to be tricky because the sign is quite bright. Everything else is quite dark. So I was just contemplating, like, well, how can I expose this? I'm looking at my histogram. It's kind of like a U shape. So there's a bunch on the left in the shadows, of course, but there's also a spike on the right side in the highlights, which is the sign itself. I think that's about as good as I can get it. Oh, here we go. All right, train's coming. Yeah, nice. I'll get it over there too. It's okay. It's all right. This time kind of dominates the scene. All right, let's get out of here. Back on the streets. So in the daytime, it's quite busy here, and there's a lot of shopping. But you know, I like the nightlife more. But it's a little bit quiet over here, but still worth exploring. Look at this. I love that. He's like, oh, come on in. We're still serving alcohol. Because that's the thing here in Tokyo where like after, I don't even know what time it is now, but after 8 p.m., a lot of places, what do we got here? 8:15. So the rules are that in Japan, in Tokyo, because of the state of emergency or whatever, after 8 p.m., not supposed to serve alcohol. But some places do, and that's like, it's not illegal. They're just not supposed to. So I think that's like a selling point. It's like, hey, we're still serving alcohol. Woo, come on in. All right, we got some choices here. Let's go past the temple over there. But there's another little passage back there I want to check out. All right, okay, we got some more activity here. Yeah, so there's this nice temple here, but it's closed. Which I figured it'd be closed because they always close this thing at night. But oh well, we used to go in there in the daytime on our workshop sometimes, on tours, and explore it. All right. You know, Axel pointed out something. He made a good point just now. He pointed something out that in the olden days, back in the day, Ameyoko, this market here in Ueno, was a kind of a black market. They used to sell. Actually, funny thing, the thing that it was a black market for back in the day, first apparently, potatoes. So it's a black market for potatoes, and then other stuff later on, all kinds of stuff. But these days it's not a black market, but I guess it still has that vibe. So there's like a speakeasy, right? You can still serve alcohol here after 8 p.m. Right? Bending the rules a little bit. Okay, here I like this nasty view, this pile of junk at this what is a fruit market and is now closed for the evening. What I like is that you can see a bit of the temple up above there. It's pretty cool, just kind of peeking out. So the temple is actually up on top of the market. Like this place. There was a moment I just missed. I started walking away, and I think it would have been nice to get like when the guy was in the right doorway and the girl came out of the left doorway and getting them like that, and I kind of missed that, unfortunately. That's why it happens when you give up too soon and you don't work the scene enough. There's one more really cool passage I want to check out just over here. It's called, it says Tanuki Koro? Shoro? I always forget how to read this. Small lane, right? And it's cool. I love the vibe in here. Very nice. Here we can slow shutter down again, not much motion. That's really nice. And again, this kind of scene is where I like the 24 because it allows me to capture the ambiance really well. Let's go a little farther in maybe. Smoking. Let's try it from here. There we go. Nice. Okay. Let's go a little further. One thing I noticed with the Z cameras is that when you're on wide area autofocus and there's a scene like what I just shot, it'll often tend to try to focus on the closest thing automatically, which I hate because if you focuses on the closest thing, then you get a shallow depth of field. If I focus farther away, the background will be sharp and probably the close thing will also be sharp, and then, you know, that's better. But the camera's like kind of programmed to shoot the closest thing. I don't know. That's why I like using, you know, the select point instead. But I also like to have tracking, therefore I use subject tracking AF. That's my go-to one. All right, so we're gonna shoot this. Maybe let's go to f2.8 instead of 2. And this is a scene where a person or something would be nice. I've definitely in the past have shot interesting scenes with people in here, but in this case just getting the badass atmosphere of this place, super underground and cyberpunk. I love it. maybe one more from right here, just to mix it up. It's kind of the same shot, but you know, a little bit farther in, so it looks different. Very nice. These kind of streets or alleys, these are like my go-to hangout spot. Love it. Okay. Let's go left here. And we'll shoot around there a little bit by, this is now a different train station, it's Okachimachi station. One station away from Ueno, one station south. You can see a lot of construction. I mean, even earlier I was shocked at least once that there was something new that I'd never seen before, and here there's some construction, like, and then in here as well, like, there's a missing like piece of the street in a sense. Right. And so it just shows like how fast things are changing. And I love how you can see the outline of the old building, like pieces of the old building, like the roof there, are still attached to the neighboring building. It's like it got ripped out and there's like a little residue of the other building remaining. It's fascinating, but also kind of sad how it's changing. I mean, whatever was removed from there was probably not that important or special, but still, it was something old and with character, and it's going to get replaced with something new and with less character, I assume. I know I said we're going to go to the station, but this is kind of interesting, worth checking out. Not mega interesting, just a guy walking on the street. Let's go in a little passage here, and then we'll come back out to that station over there that I mentioned. But first, maybe let's get a shot this way. It's a cool scene. I kind of like this. This is nice. Very nice light. It's just missing like a real central. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, this guy just came out. I thought it was gonna be like the waiter or something. It's just the other guy's buddy came back. It's not that interesting. Let's go through here. This, by the way, is a really nice little coffee shop called Cafe Dunke. And this guy in here, so tiny, it's like 2 seats, literally. And he makes this butter roasted coffee. It says right here, butter blend coffee. So I don't know what he does, but he puts butter into the coffee as he roasts it, something like that. And he sells beans as well. And it's good. It's good stuff. All right, guys, so that's about it. We're here in front of Okachimachi, and I think we explored Ueno pretty well today. Not thoroughly. There's a lot we didn't do, but you know, we did almost 2 hours. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but we did quite a lot of shooting, and there's always more you can do. All right, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I did also enjoy using this Viltrox 24mm. I think this one's much more useful to me than the 85 we did a couple months back. I think that's a great lens too, but I don't really carry that one around. I usually keep that one in my bag, but I keep this one on the camera, and I used it quite a lot since I've gotten it. It's, as you can probably tell from the photos, sharp and effective lens, and it's just convenient. I like 24, 28, these kind of wide focal lengths, right? As well as I also like 35, 40, but this is awesome. So yeah, I've been plugging it a little bit. If you thinking you could use this lens or it's useful, check out the referral link in the description. If not, no big deal. I just hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, don't forget, we do have a Patreon as well, and we have other referral links for other stuff in the description too, which also helps us out if you click on those and maybe are interested in picking up some of the gear that we use. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and remember always, challenge your eye.